Hello everybody, my name is Waddles. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the first Snapshot Showcase video from me this year. Today, the first snapshot of 2019 has released. In this video, we're going to take a look at everything new in the 19W02A snapshot. You see, I rehearsed that a few times just so I wouldn't mess that up. I don't know why, but I kept saying 17. Anyways, let's swing into the cabin here and take a look inside of this chest because we have three big changes in this snapshot. There has been quite a bit of changes to the lectern and the cartography table and the addition of the campfire, which is really cool, and that is exactly where we're going to start. So out here, I have not one, but two campfires. Now, as you can see, there are two different smoke heights. Now, what's going on here is I have a hay bale underneath one campfire to make the smoke signal get higher. Now, I did experiment and put two hay bales underneath, but that doesn't change the smoke signal height. Over here is the smoke signal height that you will get without any hay bales below the campfire. Now, the thing with this is you can see these signals from pretty far away. I did fly quite a bit away in this direction, and yeah, as you can see, you can still see the smoke, so you could absolutely use these campfires for marking things on your server, maybe marking like a spawner you built somewhere off in your world. This is really cool, but guys, it doesn't stop here. Seriously, these things are so cool. Look at what you could do with raw food. You can actually cook things with the campfire. Now, it's not going to be very fast, this isn't ideal, but Mojang. Mojang is really stepping up their game in 2019. Look at this. This looks so cool. So as you can see, I'm cooking some raw chicken, and in just a few moments here, they should pop right off of the fire, and then, of course, we can eat them. They're normal food, nothing different about that. Pops right off, and then you can pick it up and go on with whatever you're doing. Now, of course, you don't need to cook four. You can cook one at a time, and the first one, no matter what side you put it on, seems to always go over here, at least for me. Now, of course, you can cook things with the campfire with or without the hay bale below it. Now, the recipe for the campfire is right here. 3 sticks, 1 coal or charcoal, and then 3 logs of any kind. It could be stripped, it could be unstripped, it could be bark, like literally anything right here. Pretty easy to craft, so I think this is going to become something that's very useful early game. Now, it seems that the light level is 15 coming from this thing, but there is one more interesting thing that we can do with the campfire, and that is, of course, unlighting it. So if you put the campfire in water, it's going to unlight. So you can actually waterlog a campfire as well. As you can see here, if we pull that campfire away, the water is still there. So it is a waterloggable block, and of course an unlightable block. As you can see, there is no light coming from here if we take a look at the block lighting. A better way to look at it might be like this: no light coming from that campfire, but over here, tons of light coming from these two campfires. And one final brilliant thing about the campfire is the fact that there is no fire spread involved with this campfire. So you could put this in your fireplace in your house, and you don't have to worry about fire spread or anything like that, because it won't ever happen at all. So basically, in short, the campfire is amazing. I'm definitely going to be checking this thing out more, and you should be excited for this because this is so cool. Now, it's just time for the foxes. But, unfortunately, no foxes today. But, we do have a really cool lectern functionality. So, right in front of me is a lectern with a book on it now. This is what we saw before, and this is what we see now. Now, kind of interestingly, a very small detail is, look at this little box here. That is really different when compared to anything that we've seen before. But anyways, we have a book inside of the lectern, and I've written a message, a story in here. Pretty cool, but this lectern will send out a redstone signal depending on what page of the book we are on. So now we're on page 2, and we have the second lantern lit, and then page 3, and the third lantern is lit, excuse me. Now, the page will remain, so meaning I could, back out on page 3 and walk away, and then I come back and I'm still on page 3. Now, there is some interesting mechanics to the signal, it seems. If we flip back to page 2 here, we have our second lantern lit. And then page 2 on this book, and our second lantern is not lit. But if you look closely, I have 6 pages in this book here, whereas on this other book, I have 4. So there's going to be different signal length amounts depending on how many pages in your book it seems. Of course, I am using a comparator to take the signal out of this thing. If you just run a line into it, that's not going to work. You will need a comparator to mess with this. But I think this is going to get crazy interesting for people who are working with redstone machines, because the signal seems insanely customizable. Now, to put a book on it, all you have to do is have a book. So here's my book. You can sign it or you don't have to. And then you just walk up and you place it on the lectern with right click or just the use button, and then the use button again to read the book. And I am unable to test this one, but according to the Snapshot notes, the page will be the same for everybody. So if there was another person in my world and they went and looked at this book, it should be on page 2 for them as well, of course. And to take the book, you take the book. So the lectern is pretty cool, but there's one more really cool thing this time around, and that is a functionality for the cartography table. Now, the cartography table has been in the snapshots for a little while now, but it has this brand new UI, which I think is very, very nice. So if we take a map and then some other map making things, we'll see what this does. So right here, a basic map, I just made a map like that. And then if we head into the table with this map and move it over to this top slot, we will see a picture of the map that is exactly the same as it just was. And this is how we are going to expand maps now. So I drop one paper in and I will get an expanded map and a nice little preview of what I'm going to be seeing. Now, if you take an empty map and you want to copy that map, you can still do that. As you can see, 2 identical copies of the map. Interestingly, this is a new one, but you can lock a map with a glass pane now. So that means this map will not change no matter what. I could lock this map and then I could go build a giant statue on the map and the statue's not going to show up. It doesn't matter if I walk in and try and update it, it will not show up. So here we go, let's go ahead and expand it once, and then we take a look at it, right? And we have this. Now, if we swing back into it, we have that circle just filled in. And again, of course, we can keep expanding the map up to 4 times, just like we could before. So here's our most zoomed out version of the map, and as you can see, we cannot do that anymore, kind of like a locked trade or something like that. As you can see, there is no crafting menu in here, so you still will need to craft a map with a crafting table. And you can still expand maps in the crafting table just like you could before. I'm not sure if this is going to be removed, but as you can see, I need 8 paper in here still, whereas in the cartography table, I would only need 1 paper, so it doesn't really make sense to expand the map here. You can still copy maps over here as well, which is pretty cool, but you cannot lock a map in this table. That's not going to work. It's not possible. I think this functionality was added in wonderfully, and I hope the old map recipe and expansion option still exists in the crafting table, but of course we get this better option over here in the cartography table. And because I completely forgot about the lectern, here is the recipe, slabs and a bookshelf right in the middle, and then the cartography table, which is 2 pieces of paper and 2 jungle planks. And then, aside from some other bug fixes, that's pretty much it for the 19W02A snapshot. What do you think? What is your favorite thing in the snapshot? I mean, mine is very, very easily the campfire, but tell me what you're thinking down below. Leave a like and consider subscribing if you enjoyed this snapshot showcase. On the end slide, I will have my snapshot playlist, so you can check out last year's snapshots and all of the other new things coming into 1.14, and the campfires are definitely something you need to see in person, so maybe check this out. This is really, really cool. Thank you for watching. My name is Waddles, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Go have a good day.